Okay, this is GamerBlave, and we're back with True Remembrance. And before we go on here, I would just like to mention that I'm in a little bit of vocal fatigue, a state of vocal fatigue that is somewhat uncharacteristic. So I do apologize for that going forward in this particular episode. So I may have to clear my throat a little bit more often or take a couple of drinks of water. And, I would delay recording until tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to have a chance to record for a couple of days, so I wanted to get it in. So anyway, that's out of the way. Just wanted to put that out there. So anyway, if you missed the last video, we had an encounter with Mar, who was a little boy who was sent to us by Rook. And Rook is a friend of Blackiris, who basically arranges these kind of off-the-books guest mnemonicide relationships to do kind of short-term contracts to take care of the Dolor. Now, from what I can tell, Mar, or Marcelo, didn't really appear to be suffering from the Dolor. At least I don't think so. I think he was just suffering from a little form of depression, because it seemed like, according to him, he himself said, "Hey, I'm very well loved by my parents. They take care of me. And I just feel like I'm disappointing them, even though they're not expressing that to me. Like, I feel like I'm not talented. I don't bring anything to the table, and I should be more than I am. So I just want to forget everything." And Law said to him, you're truly blessed, essentially. I'm envious of that. You have a really great situation. And Blackiris then said, "Hey, we can go ahead with this, but basically what we're doing is killing you. I mean, we are essentially erasing everything that you are from existence." And that really turned Mar around. So without going into the intricate details of that, that's kind of an overall gist of that. So anyway, what we have now is he has just now left, and he may show back up, but I'm kind of thinking that's just kind of a little thing there that kind of gives a little bit more insight into, I think, mostly the character of Law here, because she was the one who really did the work there. Blackiris didn't really do anything. If anything, he was more or less being mean to the kid. If you go back and watch that scene, I don't think that he was particularly constructive in that encounter. But that's just my opinion. And he certainly didn't do anything that I would think, and of course I'm not a psychologist, or anything like that. But I don't think he did anything that would be, out of the ordinary, that would be, because as I understand it, the Dolor is something that is, outside of the realm of a psychiatric problem or a psychological problem as we understand it now, such that mnemonicides have to treat the Dolor in a manner that which we wouldn't currently understand. So they have a talent to engage this problem that defies current treatment capacities. And basically they just, talked to the kid. So that makes me pretty convinced that he didn't have the Dolor. And if he, if that is how mnemonicides treat people, just by kind of talking to them and sorting out their business, then that seems to me, that's much more, that seems to me much more like just normal psychiatric help, like what we have today. So maybe I'm wrong. Right? So hopefully we will get a little bit more clarity on all of these things, all of these questions that I have going forward. So let us proceed. Assuming that the trolley ran on time, Mar would be able to get out of town before the gates closed. That was the right of any guest who chose not to participate in treatment. Of course, Mar was not on the books, so I don't really know if he had the rights of normal guests. That seems a little weird that he would say it like that. I would think that he would have to kind of sneak into and out of town, right? If he was off the books, that seems kind of weird that they wouldn't. That seems very strange to me that they wouldn't phrase that in a different fashion there. But maybe we're just to, I don't know, assume that that basically anyone who wants to leave can get out in that fashion. So I'm going to let that one go. Night fell on the town where memories come to die. Law and I watched Mar's trolley until it disappeared into the darkness. And then we began heading back home. Blackiris? Total erasure? Is it really possible? Let's see. I'm confident I could cause a serious bout of amnesia for a while, but recovery would probably be pretty rapid. I see. You're a good man. La? You're not supposed to say such things so seriously. La ran ahead of me, skipping and hopping all the way. I sighed, smiled, and then spoke to her from behind. If you're wondering why I did that, it's because I'm a good guy. It isn't because I'm a good guy, or a bad guy, just a lazy one. I have a hard enough time babysitting one kid, see? Babysitting? She whipped about gracefully, raised her right knee high, and stomped on my foot hard as she could. Flawless victory. As I limped behind her, I thought of something. Law? Mm-hmm. I thought she'd still be at least a little mad, but when she turned to me, there was this little sweet smile on her face. Thoroughly defeated now, I smiled back at her. No, it's nothing. From the experiences of today, Law had gotten an eyewitness experience as to what erasure of psychic corrosion really was. When it came her turn, would she grow so terrified as well? But I chose not to ask that question. It was much better this way. For her sake, and for mine. To be continued. What? I wonder why it did the to be continued there and then just came up here. Okay, anyway, I guess we'll find out. Pop's first words to me were, rule number 1, know that you are you. We'd come out from a dark place, hand in hand, light shattered everything. I couldn't see. So I couldn't see what he was talking about either. The rest of his rules go like this. Have pride. If the going gets tough, then get going. Bluff, lie, wear a mask, but keep moving forward. Then sadness will have no place in your heart. Someday. They're mine to keep. Pops would roll in his grave otherwise. More importantly, if they break, I break. His last words to me were, I love you, and I want you to be happy. I finally understand what he meant. I think. He probably meant I love you and I want you to be happy? Maybe. I mean, that might be a stretch, but that's probably what he meant. How, on the other hand... Anyway, this much is obvious. I can't stand still. My name is Law, and that is why I am here. Huh. Law is now narrating. Very interesting. Oh, so we do have chapters changing to the self-deceived. I'll write that down. So that's interesting. So I guess Blackiris was narrating, you know, everything was coming from him in the first one, and I guess in this one, in this chapter, it looks like, I could be wrong, but at least from this particular screen here, it looks like, and the previous screens, it looks like the narrator is going to be Law. Perhaps going forward, perhaps for this chapter. And I wonder if it's just going to go back and forth for the remaining chapters. Of course, I don't know how many chapters there are, but that is interesting. So that was a fairly lengthy chapter. Well, I think we have 3 videos. Each one was maybe, I don't know how long each one was. But they are fairly lengthy. I'm certainly not going to try to read a chapter per video or anything like that. I guess I'll just, try to determine, when pacing allows for it, or when I just get too vocally tired to go on. But anyway, that is interesting that the narrator has changed. We don't have one throughout. Blackiris isn't a morning person. He tries to hide it. He fails. 2 weeks of living with him have made that obvious. He eats breakfast, he washes dishes, he drinks coffee, half asleep the entire time. I know. He sleepwalks all day long, makes everything look easy. I'm just saying, it's most pronounced in the mornings. I don't get it. He washes dishes, he brews coffee, all better and faster than I can, eyes closed, both hands tied behind his back. Am I of any help to him? No. No way. If I were to mention this, all he'd say is, "You're my guest, so there's no need for you to help out," or something. But I can't just leave it at that. Which is what makes me a fool among fools. Blackiris is good. Frighteningly good at everything. Is it because he's a guide? Or was he like this to begin with? I don't know. I do know this. He makes me realize just how much I don't know. So much to learn. I'm ashamed to admit it. I must become self-sufficient. I must. Because Pops isn't around to take care of me anymore. Law, want to go out today? Blackiris says after taking a long sip of coffee. I just stare at him for a moment. I've still got Pops on my mind. Hard to break free. I can feel the tears on my cheeks. Law? His stony countenance softens a bit. Sorry about that. Can't help it sometimes. I'll try harder. I rub my eyes hard. The crying doesn't survive for long, usually. I know, you can't cry in front of others. I'm not a kid. Not anymore. Blackiris just stares at me. He's waiting for the tears to end. he does this out of habit, not malice. I get that, but still, it doesn't help. And where are you taking me? Well, how about the park, or perhaps the library? Yay, let's go! No, I'm not faking it. Blackiris is antisocial. He'd stay home all day if he could. He's never taken me anywhere, other than Rook's, but that doesn't count. I'm not allowed to wander anywhere, not without my guide. Suits me fine. I don't have a choice anyway. I'm a patient here. It's been a long time. I love going out. I wonder where this park is. The weather's perfect for a stroll. That'd be fun. And if we're going to the library, so much the better. I've read all my books. I want to borrow some more. That'd be fun too. Either way, I can't wait. I gulp down my cafe I don't know how to pronounce that. I give up. I gulp down my cafe, some French word, and jump to my feet. Give me a couple of minutes. Weather's good. I'll go hang up the laundry to air. Be done soon, I swear. You don't have to be in such a rush, you know. It's not as if I'm planning on taking off without you. I know you better than that, you meanie. I'll be done before you change your mind, I promise, so don't leave me, okay? Okay. So I grabbed the laundry basket, out into the garden. Ah, the clotheslines, good. Time to start hanging stuff. So this is interesting to me. Because the dolor here, okay, let's just take a step back here. The dolor is this profound sadness that grips people, right? It grabs a hold of people and takes them and causes them to kill themselves, right? The suicide has become the main cause of death in the world, right? If I'm remembering the first video here, and I'm looking at my notes here. Yep, suicide leading cause of death. Unless I wrote that down and I'm lying to myself here. Suicide's leading cause of death from the dolor. So this is supposed to be this profound sadness that just beats the crap out of you. So I would imagine that anyone in this state would just be, you'd be hard pressed to see a smile on their face. Now, granted, Law has been with him for a while now, so I mean, maybe he's been doing his thing or whatever. But it seems like, if we rewind the clock to the last scene with Mar, where he was saying, okay, so Mar was heading off. Is she going to be worried when we start talking about, actually going in and getting rid of some of her memories? So, I don't know. I mean, she seems sad. She does, because she cries a lot. But, I mean, my goodness, she really doesn't seem so profoundly sad that she just does not seem like she's on the brink of killing herself. I mean, I don't know. I suppose. I mean, I don't suppose. I've been a fortunate person to, not have people, or at least I haven't had a bunch of people come to me and say, that they've been dealing with, profound sadness, or I haven't had acquaintances in my life that I know of deal with suicide. I haven't had anyone close to me do that. So, I don't know exactly, I haven't been around people who are, at least to my knowledge, dealing with that, so I can't speak from experience. But it seems like a lot of the behavior here is that of someone who, I don't know, she seems to be fairly happy. I mean, she gets excited about going out. You know, a lot of depressed people don't generally like to do things and go out or get excited about that kind of thing. I mean, from what I know, once again, I try to reiterate very often things that I don't actually know about. And psychiatry is definitely one of those things. Okay. So this is the statements of a lay person here. Okay. Very much so. But this just seems very strange to me. Very strange to me. Okay. Anyway, I think we already read this. Okay. Time to start hanging stuff. Odd. Where are the ashen clouds? Where's the snow? Not that I'm complaining. It's still freezing out here, but look. See there. You can feel winter's timid light whisper between the high trees. Half finished now. Making good progress, but wait. What was that sound? Could be a dog or a cat. If it is, I hope it's nice. I want to pet it. But what if it isn't? I'm kind of scared. Oh well. Let's take a look and see. I mean, see all of this, you know, like being excited about it, but being maybe a little bit scared, but still, you know, genuinely curious about it. I mean, she's not apathetic or, you know, this does not seem like the behavior of someone who is really, really miserable and depressed. Oh. New character. That's not a dog or a cat. Well then, and you are? I say to the girl who has just appeared. Well, no, the girl who has been there the entire time. That's more like it. She stares at me. She stares at my laundry basket, then she presses her slender fingertips together. Looks like she's at a loss for words. What now? I'm at a loss for words too. So we're reduced to staring at each other. Are you lost? No, I'm not. The girl suddenly hangs her head. Okay, so she's not lost. A thief, maybe? Then I shouldn't be standing here talking to her. I should go call Blackiris. Okay, if she doesn't talk, I'm gonna bolt. I begin to turn back when... Wait! I'm looking for a mnemonicide. If you, happen to be one... The girl cuts herself off in silence. She stares down at her clenched fists. I see. One of Blackiris's patients. The mnemonicide? He's indoors. Anyway. Come in, okay? Too cold out here. Thank you. Thank you very much. No point in taking the back door. Front door it is. The girl remains silent. There's a look in her eyes full of hidden things. Has she got the dolor too? You take quite a long time for someone who's in a hurry. Huh? Blackiris looks all prepared to go out. What he's not prepared for is the girl behind me. Wait, then she's not one of his patients? Who is this? No idea. Found her in the garden. Blackiris just sighs. Then, Law, you shouldn't talk to strangers, let alone invite them into your house like that. It's dangerous, you know. Anyway, what's done is done. More importantly, who are you, miss? He turns to the girl. You can tell he's not happy. She's scared. She starts trembling. She stands frozen for a moment, then she finally looks up at him. Oh wow, she's cute. Cute as a button. My name is Irina, sir. I've come here seeking treatment for the dolor. Okay, Irina, another character. Irina. Writing that down. Let me write suffers from dolor. At least allegedly. I'm a little skeptical of everyone who's claiming to be suffering from the dolor at this point. It's getting ridiculous. Okay. And you think that gives you the right to trespass? I have to say something, otherwise this will be bad. Blackiris? It's obvious he's going too far. The poor girl's quivering in shock. But Blackiris sighs again. He turns to me. Look, when someone climbs over your wall and hides herself in your garden, around these parts we call that breaking and entering. It's a crime, just so we're on the same page. I'm sorry, but... Wait, I'm not mad at you, Law, so chin up, okay? It's just that I realize that I was a little sloppy there. You're absolutely right. It really doesn't look like Irina here was planning on doing anything bad, but if she were, then we would have been in big trouble, see? I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to trespass. I swear, I'm sorry. What's done is done. Don't worry. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, right? That isn't me. I won't report you. What I will do, however, is ask you what in the world you're doing here. Fair? Well, sir, see, I really had to get in touch with a mnemonicide. And why exactly is that? Huh? Obviously, in order to be cured. Why ever else would I? And yet, I wonder, do you really suffer from the dolor? Wait, sir, I have a certificate right here. Irina produces a thin scrap of paper. Then she thrusts it at Blackiris, who glances at it once and pushes it back. Very well, I believe you on that. The certificate's genuine or such a good forgery that I can't tell, but tell me, where is your permit for the mnemonicide protocol? You don't have one, do you? You shouldn't even be here. Not for a long, long time. If you're found, you're going to be imprisoned here for life, with no chance of parole. I'm sure you're well aware of that, right? Her lips have frozen in terror. There's fear in her heart. There are tears in her eyes. Blackiris shrugs. He waits, and he turns to me. We've wasted quite enough time, don't you think? Let's get going. No need to worry about her. She's resourceful. She got into town on her own. She'll figure out a way to leave without getting caught, I'm sure. But this is cruel. She's shaking. She's crying. Blackiris is toying with her like a cat with a mouse. I can't bear it. Blackiris, please stop. Now, don't hold back. It's okay to get mad here, really mad. After all, now it's getting kind of late to be going anywhere, and this is all her fault. You were looking forward to the excursion, weren't you? But I'm not. True, I was looking forward to it, but this is even truer. I need to do something for this girl, no matter what. One problem. This means screwing Blackiris over. Again. Oh, fine. Man, I guess there's no two ways about it. You're too soft, Law. You were too soft, I swear. Blackiris sighs for the third time, the final time. He turns to Irina. Very well. I will take you on as my guest. Know this. I am only extending my services to you because to do otherwise would be to upset my official guest here, which I will not do. My name is Blackiris, and I am a mnemonicide. Should you wish to call me by any other name, go ahead and do so. I won't mind. So, once again, that is the third time he's offered that. He's offered that to each guest. That's pretty much been the first thing he has done once he has accepted them as a guest. I won't go into it again, but that is interesting. Huh? Then you mean? Irina looks up at Blackiris. She looks surprised and delighted. Blackiris, meanwhile, he nods with disgust. Save it. Thank Law if you must. Oh, and Law? Satisfied? Yeah, I'm so sorry, Blackiris. Oh, you did nothing wrong. There's no need for you to apologize. Then, thank you. No problem. All in a day's work, as they say. Oh, and speaking of work, Irina, I don't do this for free. I take it you've brought adequate compensation. Of course. Please, sir, set your price. Blackiris just nods, coldly. There's hesitation, though. I can feel it. Maybe he's ashamed of himself. A little. But if I point that out, he'll yell at me, probably. Oh well. Irina, did you smuggle yourself into town empty-handed? Oh, no, sir. I left my luggage in your garden, I'm afraid. Luggage? Was nobody guarding the gates today? Or is everyone falling asleep on the job? I'll go get it. Oh, no, miss, you mustn't. I'll go with you. I turn to leave. Irina runs after me. We walk together in silence. Time to take a good, long look at her. She's not crying anymore, that's a relief. I hurt inside when I see people cry. Thank you so much. La. Miss La, then. I fear that if it weren't for you, I would have been done for. Not at all. Blackiris meant to take you in. From the start, I think. He just needed an excuse. Is that really true? He's a difficult one, isn't he? Irina giggles, hesitantly, like a little songbird. Yes, she's so much cuter this way. Irina, Oh, just call me Ilya, please. No need to be so formal, yes? Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I think that's how you pronounce that. Ilya? I might be butchering this, but that's what I'm going with. Sure. Oh, wonderful, dear. Now, where were we? Were you hiding in the garden the entire time? Weren't you cold? Oh, love, I've been here since dawn. I honestly thought I was going to freeze to death. You saved my life in more than one way, sweetie. Her laughter, so soft, so warm. Can't help but join in. A tender flower. That's what she is. So obvious. It's not right to let psyche corrosion rust that smile of hers away. My goodness. I hope we get a little bit more understanding of this. Because, I mean, I would think that this systemic sadness that is, terrorizing the world essentially would grip people in a way such that they're not going to be interacting with each other with looks on their face like this. They're just not. She's giggling. She's laughing. just don't see it. I just don't see it. But, you know, we're going ahead, and hopefully we are going to learn a little bit more about the Dolor. And, you know, maybe it comes in waves, you know, maybe it ebbs and flows such that you can be almost fine at times, and then it grips you. And, you know, when you're in its clutches, that's when you might, you know, take your own life. But then, you know, apart from that, you know, when you're not grabbed by it, maybe, then you are aware that you have it, such that you know that you need the assistance, and you need to, you know, do something about it, because, I don't know, you have bouts of it, you know, like maybe, like for instance, like I get migraines sometimes, right? So I know that I need to do stuff about those, or else when I get those, then then it's just going to be a terrible situation, you know, if I'm not proactive about that. So maybe having the Dolor is like a medical condition, such that if you are not treating it, you have these bouts of whatever that manifests itself as, like a type of depression that is probably somewhat dissimilar to depression as we currently understand it, or we perceive it today, because this is, I think, a little bit, I mean, just the behavior that we're seeing in the characters who are suffering from the Dolor just does not seem like how I understand people who are very depressed to be. And these people are, you know, at least as I've been led to believe so far, depressed on another level. And I'm sorry to keep coming back to it, but I mean, this is just like striking me in the face. And and it's been doing it a little bit so far in the first couple of videos in this series, but it's just hitting me harder and harder. And maybe it's hitting me even harder in this video because Law is the one narrating, and the timbre of the narration is not that of someone who is on the brink of killing themselves. It just doesn't seem like it. So I don't know. So I'm trying to make peace with it. So what I'm gonna have to assume is that there is something to it like that. You know, maybe something like a medical condition that ebbs and flows. That's what I'm going to have to kind of assume right now. I'm going to go ahead and jot that down, maybe. Dolor. I don't know. It's a theory. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm sure anyone who's read this or gone through this before knows, but that's just my theory for right now. She's in Blackiris' hands now, thank God. Lucky her, unlucky him. I'll make it up to him someday. And on that note, we have got a new character in, and you know, since we've kind of faded to black here, I was actually initially planning on going on when I came to this slide, or to this slide frame, whatever you think, but the I don't know, the quality of this phrase here does have kind of a wrapping up that scene sound to it, to me. And I guess I did ramble on a whole lot about my theorizing there about what exactly that is, because that is really that's really interesting to me. And maybe that doesn't get anyone else, affect anyone else in the way that it does me. But the style of writing here, and I think it's deliberate. I think it's deliberate. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I just don't know any. I mean, I you know, as I've confessed many times, I'm trying to make it as perfectly clear as I can. I mean, I don't get many views on any of my videos, but if someone comes in here who has a background in psychology or psychiatry, is probably, you know, one of my dozen views or whatever is going to come in here, and they're going to, you know, have like written books in the field or something like that. And they're going to be like, well, actually, that's precisely how medical depression would manifest itself in the majority of cases. And the fact that you disagree with that assertion or that diagnosis is completely asinine. It is completely asinine. And you are very, very ridiculously stupid for doing so, GamerBlave. Very stupid. And you should probably go into a depression for doing so yourself. Something to that effect. You know, that's my psychiatrist voice. I don't know how to be. That's my, yeah. But anyway, I try to put the disclaimer that I don't actually know, that I'm just hypothesizing and theorizing here. You know, based on common sense principles here, or what I hold to be them. So, once again, I could be wrong, but that's what I think, and I think that it's deliberate storytelling based on those common sense principles, and I think, I could be wrong, that we are going to get some indication that's not necessarily my explanation, and that is that the dolor is something that kind of, you know, to use my phrase that I used before because I can't come up with something else, that ebbs and flows, that comes and goes maybe, in terms of its power that it has over you. But you know, might be something else. But I think it's going to be, something that is, you know, that is different and interesting, and something that maybe just defies the expectation. And I think that the way that the writing and the storytelling is probably deliberate there. You know, that we are getting the laughs and the smiles. You know, I think that has to be on purpose. I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. So we have met a new character. We have met Irina, right? Slash Ilya is what she likes to be called. And once again, we found out that Blackiris was willing to help her out after, you know, playing around with her for a little while. So he always likes to be a little bit mean before he does something nice. So I guess he doesn't want to. I don't know if he wants to make sure that other people don't really think he's very nice, or if he does it for himself. If he doesn't want to make himself feel like he's very nice. Not really sure. So that's something to think about as well. So, you know, a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of stuff to think about. And we'll definitely see, you know, we will definitely see where that is going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling now, because I have been rambling for an awful long time here. And probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because I rarely do. All that being said, if you like this video, then go ahead and remember to drop it a like, because I very much appreciate it. And if you liked it a lot and you want to see the rest of this playthrough, or anything else that I may be playing on this channel, and you are not currently subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe as well if you are so inclined. But regardless, as always, thanks for watching, and we are going to be picking up right here next time.